guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. I make videos every single week on lifestyle, beauty, and soul. Today I thought it would be fun to share my 8 best tips and tricks to getting an internship and why it might be in your best interest to accept an internship even if it's unpaid or you don't see it as being a field you are truly passionate about or something that will even lead to a long-term career option, a career field that exactly is perfect for you and that you want to stay in. So if you think you'd be interested in that, if you think you have something to contribute to the conversation, go ahead and keep watching and leave your comments down below. So to give you a little bit of background about myself, I work in the financial services industry. I've had 2 internships. Every single summer after college, I had an internship. I only went to college for 3 years. So right after I was a freshman, I interned at an insurance company called Western Southern Life. And then the next summer after, I interned at PNC in audit, and that's where I work to this day. So I would say my number 1 tip for scoring yourself an internship right off the bat would be to utilize your school's career services portal. And that's like a database or a portal where you have information for all these different employers, and your school should post different job openings or internships or externships or whatever, and you should be able to click on those and read the job description, read the qualifications, and apply through your school. And I think that's the best starting point, really. It's better than Monster, LinkedIn, or Indeed, Glassdoor, or any of those sites, because your school has a relationship with those employers. Many alumni from your school may be working there. Your school may have gotten a loan from them if they're a bank. Those employers may have donated money to your school, and so there are all these different circumstances why they may be having a relationship with your school. But the important fact is that your school and that employer are a connection, and they are helping each other out, and you are paying a lot of money to go to your school, so you should be utilizing those resources that are right there in front of you. And that is the best way to get into a company, is if your school is in a relationship with an employer. So I would definitely encourage you to just start there and look at those internships, and I would say to apply to about 5 to 10 in your field of study, even if you don't see yourself particularly interested in them, because in order to get your dream internship or your dream job, first you need any type of internship or any type of job. So that's my number 1 piece of advice. My number 2 piece of advice is to network with professors at your school, because professors at your school also will have tons of great connections in your industry. They will know people on a personal basis, and if they like you, if they have a good relationship with you, they may even be willing to pull some strings to get you in a position that you otherwise normally couldn't be in. So definitely get to know your professors, be that nerdy person, sit in the front of your class, and just really get to know them and ask them if they know about any opportunities or connections that may help you. My number 3 tip is to network with former students and former classmates and former friends or current friends. Hopefully they're current friends. Hopefully you're still friends, right? And see what they are doing with their degree, where they're at. Do they like their job? Do they have an internship there? And they may know of openings in their company or internships in their company, and they may be able to help you navigate that process and get you to the right websites and the right links, because I know if you're applying for these big corporations, their websites can be very confusing and very hard to navigate, so you may need some inside information and inside help. My number 4 tip is to also utilize the career services at your university, and this kind of goes along with knowing former classmates and former alumni, and also using the portal. But it would be in your best interest to also go to the career services, because they know tips and tricks for your resume, and writing cover letters, and how to tailor that to the particular industry, and also what certain employers like. Because I've heard before from my career services that this employer hates if your resume is more than one page. They will automatically like disqualify you if your resume is longer than one page. They'll automatically disqualify you if your GPA is under this certain amount. They don't want to see any religious things or political organizations that you may have been involved in. So they know those like inside tips and tricks, because sometimes, let's face it, it's not enough to have a good GPA. It's not enough to be involved in all kinds of activities. Sometimes you need to know those inside tips and tricks. And how to know them best would be to go to the career services, which can be annoying. You might have to wait. But again, you're paying your school a ton of money, so you should utilize that feature. My number 5 tip is to go to the career fair at your school, because that first initial contact you're going to make with an employer might be applying through your school's online database, but the next contact you should have with them should be in person. And what better way to do that than at your career fair? That's actually how I got my job at PNC, is I first started networking with PNC at the career fair. Career fairs can seem kind of intimidating. That's evident by the fact that not a lot of people often show up at them. So, once you can overcome that mentality that it is a little bit scary and it may be a little bit awkward to go out and network with a complete stranger and just throw yourself out there. But once you get over that, you should realize that that's an excellent opportunity and it's an excellent way to get in the door. So really, if you want to stop watching right now, I gave you pretty much the best tips, and they all have to deal with networking and making connections to an employer based through your school. My next few tips are a little bit more personal and maybe not a traditional tip that you would think of. So number 6 would be to just really make sure your LinkedIn profile looks great, that it's all up to date, you have all of your experiences, qualifications on there. I would advise you to like pages in your industry. Employers, I know, really dig deep into that kind of stuff. They also look at your Facebook, so make sure that looks kosher. And just really make sure you're involved in LinkedIn and you're building an active network. I've actually had several job offers on LinkedIn, none which I pursued, but there are people out there, there are recruiters out there that are looking for good candidates. So make sure your LinkedIn looks very good. Tip number 7 would be to be willing to open your mind to different opportunities. Be willing to accept an internship that doesn't pay. Be willing to accept an internship that's out of your comfort zone, that may not be your dream job, that may not even be a job that interests you. And why I say that is because a bad experience is better than no experience. Also, you might be surprised, you might actually like your field that you're in. I knew nothing about auditing when I accepted my internship. I had never taken an auditing class. I didn't really know what it was. And it turned out that I loved it and it was a really good fit for my skill set. So you really don't know what's out there. And it's important to get that experience so you can put it in your resume, because your career just builds and builds and builds. It's just a cycle that just only goes forward. So you really need that initial base to build you up and propel you off into a direction. My last tip would be to start early. It's never too early to start. I would recommend starting when you're a freshman. Go to those career fairs, really try to get an internship. And maybe some employers are not looking for freshmen, but you'd be surprised. Some smaller companies are looking for freshmen and they like to build a relationship with you for an extended period of time. Also, it's better to kind of get your feet wet, get yourself out there and kind of make those mistakes early on, so by the time you're a sophomore and junior, you can be really polished for the interview process, for networking, and you can always make a connection when you're a freshman, and they might say come back when you're a junior, and you can come back when you're a junior, and it can lead to the right career opportunity for you. So those are my 8 best tips for finding an internship. I know it's only November and we've got a long way till summer, but if you are an accountant, the Big Four has definitely already gotten their interns. But if you're not, there are plenty of places in corporate America that are still looking for interns. And I'm not as familiar with, some other sectors. But those are my 8 best tips. If you guys like that, please give this a thumbs up. And if you have any of your own tips, please share them down below. I think that'd be really helpful for anyone that's watching this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.